You're trying to escape from here, aren't you? I want to see how far you can make it before your head is chopped off. Good luck not getting killed.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that McConey Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Black Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at McConey Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, McConey Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to McConeySetupShop.com and learn why McConey Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at McConey Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Milwaukee Mile, West Allis, Wisconsin, where tonight, round number 12 of the iRacing Sprint Car Cup will be coming your way. My name is Chris Grant with the National Racing Network. It is a pleasure to have you joining us here. Qualifications just getting underway here at the mile, and as the cars all come out here to get their time set, we'll let the names scroll across the bottom of the screen for you here. We'll tell you a little bit about the racetrack. 1 mile in length with corners banked at 9¼ degrees. Technically, I guess it would be 9 degrees and 25 minutes for the engineers out there participating with us tonight. First opened in 1903. It is the longest continuously running motorsports facility in the world. Tonight, as we mentioned, it will play host to round number 12 of the 2021 Season 2 schedule for the iRacing Sprint Car Cup. 30 laps will be the distance tonight. Cautions are controlled by the iRacing platform. Restarts will be single file. No backup cars are available. Caution laps do not count here in the sprint cars, unlike what we saw last night with the Silver Crown cars. As always, stock block pushrod, 410 cubic inch V8s under the hood of these race cars. They are going to be a big-time handful here around the Milwaukee Mile. 820 horsepower, 650 plus pound-feet of torque. As we ride here with Ryan Sellers, let's get you the best lap times up on the board here. Jeffrey Stanton going to be your quick timer, 27.778 seconds. Sellers going to move up to second, quick 27.904, still about a tenth and a half off of Stanton's quick time. Steven Mastro, 4/1000ths of a second back of Sellers for a spot on the front row. Jim Vig, Derek Love will be your top 5. Brian Payne, Dan Smith, Steven Spears, Joe Adams, and Mike Barry, the top 10. Still waiting on a couple of cars here to make their laps. Let's pick up off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. You can see long runs down the straightaway. Not something these sprint cars like, as we follow along with Josh Batista. See if we can't get a quick word in here with Jeffrey Stanton here, as he's completed his qualification run and currently sits quick time. And Jeffrey, this place is going to be a bit of an adventure tonight. Long straightaways are not necessarily friends in sprint cars.
Be very, very tricky. A lot of throttle control needed, especially in the long run as the fuel burns off.
Yeah, that's going to be the other big part of this here, is you guys are going to use a ton of fuel tonight compared to some of the bull rings. How is that managing that from a lap-by-lap perspective? Is it just entirely right foot?
And just being easy. I mean, you can't really do too much. I mean, drivers that are heavier on the right foot like myself are going to be burning more fuel. Lap count wise, we shouldn't have an issue here tonight. We have always ran third lappers at Milwaukee, no issue. So from that standpoint, we should be fine. As long as the race goes green, relatively good and clean, we'll be good.
All right, Jeffrey. Well, good luck tonight. Looks like you will be our quick timer here as Mark Hefner completes his run. So congratulations on the pole run. Good luck tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for broadcasting.
There you go. There's Jeffrey Stanton. He's going to be your quick timer. How about the paint scheme here on Mark Hefner's car? This is an absolute throwback to Mark Donahue and the Penske Sunoco cars that he ran back in the early 1970s. That is a fantastic paint job. Show you the license details on your top 19 drivers here in the race. Jeffrey Stanton, an A-level 4.9 iRacing safety rating. 5,000 is the iRating. A lot of good talent here in the sprint cars. And there you see the checkered flags come up. Qualifications are over. It is time to get the starting grid lined up here for tonight's 30-lapper at the Milwaukee Mile. Let's show you the starting grid as the field starts to get lined up here. Jeffrey Stanton will be your pole sitter ahead of Ryan Sellers. Steven Mastro and Jim Vig will make up row number 2. Row 3 is going to have Derek Love out of the Mid-South, and Canada's Josh Batista. Brian Payne and Mark Hefner will make up row number 4, while Dan Smith will line up alongside Steven Spears in the 5th row. Another Canadian, Joe Adams, on the inside of row number 6. To his outside will be New York's Connor Babel. Mike Barry and Ron Quinzel will make up row number 7. Matt Babel out of New York, Rich Foreman out of Indiana will make up the 8th row. Row number 9 is going to have Jason Steinhurst and Wally Reardon. Brady Martz and Julian Valdez in row number 10. All alone in row number 11, scheduled to be Stephen Dion. He has not taken a time in qualifying, and he will miss the start. So it looks like Stephen Dion will be a did not start for tonight's race. Pick up the field as they head through turn number 1. I believe this is going to be only a single pace lap as well. You can see them getting way wide and separated from each other here. That's going to be pretty important as they're trying to get some heat build up into these tires. Turn 1 can be an absolute mess if it's not done properly. That is for sure. Each end of the speedway is identical. In fact, the facility originally used as a horse racing track. Some of the names, I mean, you go back to the earliest heydays of racing. Barney Oldfield, Ralph DePalma, Parnelli Jones, A.J. Foyt, Al Unser, Bobby Unser, Mario Andretti. I mean, some of the best have run here at the Milwaukee Mile. Pace car is in. Green flags out. We're underway for the final time in 2021 Season 2. Lap number 1 is going to come to a close, and it'll be Ryan Sellers grabbing the early race lead over Jeffrey Stanton. Steven Mastro going to look to his inside off of turn number 2. Not quite going to be close enough to attempt to pass that time. This is going to be a lot about settling down and settling in. As we saw last night, the Silver Crown race, though, these laps will tick off in a hurry if we keep things under the green flag. Trouble on the racetrack, a little bit further back in the pack. Rich Foreman has already made the jump to pit road. Get you the Hot Shoe Race for instant replay. Keep your eye on that number 7 machine, excuse me. Rich Foreman photography entry. Oh, he clips the 11. Big wreck into turn number 1. That was a huge hit. Mark Hefner in that one as well. Trying to get you another look at it here. Keep your eye on the 11 of Mark Hefner. Man, that was a huge hit into that inside pit lane wall. Hefner bounces it up against the outside retaining wall, and he'll be able to continue, but unfortunately looks like Mark Hefner is going to be pit side as well here. So we'll pick up the front of the field. Julian Valdez also getting involved in that incident. While we have a chance here, I want to remind everybody, coming up next here on the National Racing Network will be the TNT PM18 All Oval Series presented by Carolina Simworks. That race will follow this one immediately at the conclusion, potentially earlier. We did have to bail out on the race a couple of weeks ago as well, but so long as things stay clean and green, we'll have plenty of times for the victory lane interviews and potentially chat with our season champion as well here. Ryan Sellers is the points leader by a couple hundred points, about 150 points over Jeffrey Stanton. Now, this really is Ryan Sellers' championship to lose here. And when you factor in the drop weeks, pretty sure Sellers is going to have this one locked down. It would take a very massive swing in points this week for Ryan Sellers to lose this championship. Looking back, though, good battle still going on between Stanton and Spencer Steinman. Those cars only about 28 points or so separating them. Not too far back to Steven Mastro either. Spencer Steinman not entered in this week's race. Looks like we should be getting ready to go back to green flag racing. So let's tell us, folks, where are you watching from tonight? Check into the comments. We can get them up on the screen. I like to make these broadcasts as interactive as we possibly can. We like chatting up the viewers here. Biggest favor we can ask of you, though, give it a like and a share. That way, kind of tricks the algorithms a little bit, gives a little bit more love here to do hard work that we're doing. Kind of interesting here. Pace car is in. Ryan Sellers leaving a big gap to the outside. Green flag back in the air. Oh, one car. Huge moment at the back of the pack. That was, I believe, Jason Steinhurst. Loops it around, but we will stay green. Front of the pack starting to separate themselves out. Let's pick up Derek Love, who's catching in on Jim Vig. They work through turns 3 and 4. Good battle back here as well between Brian Payne, Mike Barry, Joe Adams, Steven Spears, all in that fight as well. Adams thought about having a look to the inside of Barry through 3 and 4. Not quite close enough, but he may get a pretty decent run on him here off the corner. Oh, contact! The 7 goes up and over. Pinwheeling down the front straightaway. Tough break for Joe Adams. Let's get you the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. See what happened here. Coming off the corner, Mike Barry bounced it off the outside retaining wall. Basically came right down in front of the 7. Absolutely nowhere for Joe Adams to go. Get you the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay here on board with the 7. Ugly ride down the front straightaway for the 7 of Joe Adams. We'll see him make his way down pit road. We'll pick up your race leaders as they come off turn number 4. You kind of wonder if Ryan Sellers trying to maybe sell a little bit of a dummy there to Jeffrey Stanton. It's so easy to see that outside lane open, make the jump for it, and then the leader does the quick brake check, and all of a sudden you're staring down a black flag. Which, unlike some of the league racing you'll see here on NRN, there's no way to get that cleared. No race admins to control the black flags tonight. You have to serve the penalty. We should come back to green here at lap number 5. Joe Adams, Mark Hefner, Rich Foreman all look to be out of the race. Going to be extended repair times. In fact, Mark Hefner has disconnected. At least it looks that way from the timing and scoring system. So he'll be out of the race in the 19th position. Joe Adams, 18th. Rich Foreman's going to be the final car to finish tonight that started the race. Stephen Dion, did not start here at the back of the field. Take a look back here. Julian Valdez in the number 13 machine. He made a pit stop on lap number 3, 5.7 seconds. Wonder if there might not have been a little bit of damage that we saw. Pretty cool to see the bird colors on that number 13 machine. A fantastic weekend for that team. The Carb Night Classic rained out on Friday night. Ran Saturday morning, saw Cody Swanson take the victory in both the Silver Crown and the Midget features that bookended a pair of fantastic races for Indy Pro 2000 and USF 2000. Then Swanson hightails it to Anderson Speedway, and after running all morning with the USAC guys, completed 500 laps in the Payless Little 500 at Anderson Speedway, coming home with a second-place finish, trying to become the only driver in history to win a Sprint, Midget, and Silver Crown race all in the same day, ultimately coming up just a little bit short. But, man, 3 fantastic sprint car races we got to see at Indianapolis. And we're getting ready for Indiana Midget Week here, too, in the real world. We're going to be doing some talking about that tomorrow night on the High Side Hustle, 8 p.m. in the East with Bert Wojcik and Adam Rubright. How about this one, race fans? The co-owner of Meyer Shank Racing, your 105th Indianapolis 500 champions, Mike Shank, will be joining the guys. I still can't believe that Mike Shank's going to come talk to our knuckleheads on Wednesday nights. But lights appear to be off on the iRacing safety car. They are. We're going to come back to Green Flag Racing. Sellers brought the field down very slow down the front straightaway. Side by side, here's Derek Love looking to get around Jim Vig. He'll complete that pass off of turn number 2. Going to try to break Dan Smith with him down the back straightaway. Vig slides up the racetrack just a little bit. That's going to bottle everybody up. In fact, it was Brian Payne that slid up the racetrack. Mike Barry going to look to his inside. The vintage 7-Up colors on that machine. Barry still trying to make that inside lane work. One of the things about Milwaukee, it is very bottom dependent. As we have a fight going on for the race lead. Just as I say that, Jeffrey Stanton's going to try to make me look like a clown here. Trying the outside lane against Ryan Sellers. He's going to have to give back a good bit of that spacing as the 19 of Jason Steinhurst comes back out onto the racetrack. Only one lap down. This fight will continue here at the front of the field, working lap number 10. We're already at the 1/3 distance. Adams, Hefner, and Foreman, the only 3 cars out of the race. Steinhurst is a lap down. Foreman tries to show to the inside on Sellers into turn number 3. Not quite close enough to make that pass work. Good fight back in the field here. Connor Babel trying to get caught up Wally Reardon. Slide a little bit forward. We'll pick up Derek Love and Dan Smith. Love going to slide up the racetrack in 1 and 2. That allows Smith to come to the inside. Easily grab the 4th position. The fight continues back behind him as well with Jim Vig and Brian Payne. Vig able to come around Mike Barry's machine. You wonder if Barry doesn't have a little bit of damage from that contact with the outside retaining wall. As Derek Love and Dan Smith continue their battle. The problem with how you run Milwaukee is that you have to be so precise on corner entry. If you're a little bit too early on turn in, you're going to sacrifice it on the way out. The same thing's true if you back the corner up too far. You can actually get it down inside the apex at the center of the corner. Really make things a bit of a mess. Ryan Sellers last lap set a new fastest lap in the race, 27.87 seconds. Jeffrey Stanton just a tick back behind him, though. Already approaching the halfway point. Pick up this battle here as Jim Big comes around Mike Barry into turn number 1. Josh Batista going to be right there as well. Barry slides it wide off of turn number 2, trying to get the speed build up. Man, these cars are just so twitchy yet. You get to almost full throttle. It's very, very rare to get the sprint cars to full throttle, only because they want to snap hard to the right, and it's very difficult to time when that snap is going to come. Slide up front here, show you the race leaders. There's Ryan Sellers making his way off at turn number 4. The battle heating up behind them between Jeffrey Stanton and Steven Mastro. These cross flags are up. We're halfway home here at the Milwaukee Mile. three have really checked out on Derek Love. In fact, 1.6 seconds from Stanton back to Love in the 4th position. We haven't gotten to do this one much here tonight, race fans. How about we pick up back here the car of Brian Payne, and we'll give you fine folks at home a chance to crank it up. A little bit of a tag slapper there out of the 15. Trouble on the racetrack just as we come back from the crank it up. Trouble on the racetrack for Connor Babel. Get you the hot shoe race for instant replay. See what happened to the number 5 machine. Just bounced it off the outside retaining wall. That's exactly what we talked about. Oh, and a wild ride into turn number 3. It is just so hard to tell when that car is going to snap loose. Show it to you from the roll bar here. Just the tiniest bit too much throttle. My goodness, that is a wild ride into turn number 3. Several cars on the pit road here, including Jeffrey Stanton pitting out of the top 3. This is an interesting call here. We'll have to check in, see if we can get a word with Jeffrey Stanton here. Jeffrey, Chris Graham in the NRM booth, do you have us?
I got you. Yeah.
So, interesting call here to see you on pit road at lap number 18. Was that a potential damage issue, or are you just kind of thinking strategy and get that rear end full of fuel?
Weight down, more power to the ground. It started getting a little bit sketchy there. I don't take any chances.
Not the worst idea we've ever heard of here. So, all right, buddy, thank you for the update. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
There you go. There's Jeffrey Stanton making the interesting call to come into the pits. It's not the worst time to make the call, just past the halfway point here. He's going to promote Steven Mastro to second. Mike Barry also coming into the pits. Josh Batista in as well, along with Connor Babel and Brady Martz. I think we might be able to get a word here. Let's see. Got to see if we're going to be coming back to green flag racing. It looks like the lights are still on the iRacing safety car. So, see if we can't get a word here with Mike Barry. And Mike, interesting call here. We just talked to Jeffrey Stanton. He's talking about pitting, wanting to get more weight on the back end of the car. Was your pit stop damage related, or kind of the same line of thinking?
Basically the same call. I mean, we're about halfway through the race, and I saw we're about a half fuel run in, so these things start getting squirrely around 14 gallons. So I figured, I'm already sitting kind of far back. I think, hey, any chance I got to move up?
Yeah, I think it's really not a bad call here. So good luck the rest of the way, Mike. Thanks for checking in with us.
Thanks, Chris.
There you go. More weight in the rear end. Get as much as you can to get the car planted back onto the racetrack. To give you the rundown here, the top 10 all have not stopped. Julian Valdez making the stop at lap number 3. He's not going to have saved a ton of fuel here, probably in a similar shape to what we saw all of the rest of the race leaders in. However, Jeffrey Stanton, Mike Barry, Josh Batista, Connor Babel, Brady Martz, all going to be in the same kind of grouping here as we see Rich Foreman getting back out onto the racetrack. Going to be a bunch of laps down, but green flag flies one more time here, and Ryan Sellers gets the good run. Let's slide back in the field here. See if Jeffrey Stanton and Mike Barry are able to make that heavier rear end work for them. Really, it does help get the power down here. Stanton already coming around the 18 of Wally Reardon. Barry now going to look to the inside of Reardon through 3 and 4. I don't think they would have changed the right rear tire, but it is a potential. I don't think they spent enough time on pit road to accomplish the tire change, though. 9.73 seconds the time on the stop for Stanton. Stanton looks to the inside. He comes around Steven Spears with ease. Oh, but he clips the apron. A little bit of a moment there off of turn number 4. Stanton coming around Matt Babel, already back up to the 8th position. Mike Barry's still a couple of cars behind there, but pretty good fight so far. Let's look at the front of the field because the battle's starting to heat up for the race lead. Working lap number 21, Steven Mastro gets up on the tail tank of Ryan Sellers off of turn number 4. Sellers chops off the line on the entry to turn number 1. Mastro arcs the corner just a little bit more. He may have a bit more speed on corner exit. And just great drive off the corner from Sellers, though. Making full use of those 410 cubic inch, 820 bald eagles under the hood of these sprint cars. Jeffrey Stanton has recovered up to the 8th position after the stop. In fact, he just came around Ron Quinzel. Quinzel going way to the outside in turns 1 and 2. Going to force him into a battle with Josh Batista. Batista's another car that stopped under the caution flag. Batista looks to the inside. Quinzel slams the door. Slides just a little bit high. You can tell when these cars start to get the push. There you saw just a little bit of a twitch as they were down the straightaway. That was all Josh Batista needed to come around. Steven Spears going to try to follow him through here. Not quite close enough. Spears looks to the inside. Oh. Quinzel had to grab a big fistful of steering wheel to avoid running over the 12th machine on corner entry. That allowed Mike Barry to come around pretty easily. Barry now going to look to the inside of Spears into 1. It'll be 5 to go next time by for Ryan Sellers. Great recovery drive, but it might be too little too late for Jeffrey Stanton, already up to the 5th position. But it will be 5 to go this time by. For race leader Ryan Sellers. Caution on the racetrack. This changes everything. Take a look here. May have been Matt Babel that had the issue. Oh, yeah, he looped it in turns 1 and 2. Slides it down to the inside. Yeah, the car just does not want to turn. These cars don't like to make a right-hand turn anyway. Get you one more look here at the issue for Matt Babel on the Hot Shoe Racer Instant Replay. Just a little self-spin in turns 1 and 2. Loops it around again on the exit of the corner. Now we've got the shootout at the West Allis Corral coming up here because Jeffrey Stanton currently being scored in the 6th position. Excuse me, it'll be 5th position for Jeffrey Stanton. Good drive up through the field for Josh Batista as well. The cars that made pit stops back there at lap number 18, Jeffrey Stanton runs in the 5th position. 8th is Josh Batista. Mike Barry runs in 10th. Matt Babel is going to be pit side now, so 13 cars remaining on the lead lap. It'll be 4 laps to go. This is where you almost wondered, how aggressive does Jeffrey Stanton be on the outside of the racetrack? I've been shocked at how much space has been left between the outside retaining wall and where the race leaders are placing their cars. They're leaving the room open there to absolutely pounce almost as soon as the pace car comes in. You have to time the move absolutely to perfection. But if there's somebody that's going to pull it off in the sprint cars, I think it might be a guy like Jeffrey Stanton. He'll at least have a shot at it. Can't count out Derek Love, who runs in the 3rd position. Hasn't shown the same pace as the rest of the race leaders. That number 4 machine is always in contention, whether it's the Silver Crowns or the sprint cars. So Derek Love, one of the better drivers in the series. Dan Smith running back there in the 4th position. Dan's been showing some pretty good form over the last several weeks. Currently sitting 5th in the point standings. Almost 100 points back of Stephen Mastro from 4th, though. So looks like Dan Smith going to be pretty well locked in to a 5th place finish in the point standings. Lights are out on the iRacing safety car. We're coming back to Green Flag Racing. Who's going to make the big move? When do we see the big shot here? Ryan Sellers tries to slow the field way down. He jumps on the loud pedal off at turn number 4. And he's going to have a very nice lead as the field heads back into turn number 1. Absolutely fantastic restart for Ryan Sellers. Mastro holding on to 2nd. Here comes Stanton looking to the inside of Dan Smith. He makes that pass look easy. It'll be 3 to go this time by. We are heading for a fantastic finish here at the Milwaukee Mile. Almost a half second as the gap Ryan Sellers has over Stephen Mastro. Going to be Love, Stanton, Smith, your top 5. Caution on the speedway. Yellow flag is out once again. Heard the contact back in the pack. Not seeing anybody that has crashed. Take a look here and see where the issue may have been. Oh, there it was. Big hit to the inside retaining wall for the 13 of Julian Valdez. Get you one more look at it here. You saw the car start to develop the twitch. Up and over, out of the ballpark goes Julian Valdez. He's out of here. And unfortunately, that's going to mean a very long tow in the pit area. Ryan Sellers has been playing the restart game absolutely perfect. Not getting... If you let the pace car get too far ahead in iRacing, it can black flag you as the race leader. So you want to let it get as much of a gap as possible without drawing the penalty, which is a pretty difficult thing to do. From there, you also have to control the cars behind you with how much of a gap that you're going to give them. We can't get a quick word here with Derek Love as we cycle under the caution flag here. Derek, you had a heck of a run so far tonight here. What's the trick going to be on this final restart, or hopefully final restart?
Keeping Jeffrey behind me. That's going to be about the biggest goal right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's sitting on a little bit heavier fuel load, and ultimately, I mean, it seems like Brian and Steven have kind of been the class of the field tonight, so is it just a matter of trying to hold on for third at this point?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't really have much for Ryan or Steven. They're running a good race up there. Jeffrey, yeah, he's got a little bit extra fuel, a little bit different gearing, so it'll be real interesting to see this restart.
All right, Derek, good luck the rest of the way here, brother. We appreciate you talking to us. There you go. That's Derek Love running in the third position. He says he's trying to hold off Jeffrey Stanton to hold on to a podium position. Ryan Sellers trying to hold on to the win and cap off a championship season. Getting our first comment of the night coming in here. Chuck Carter saying, let's go D-Love. Derek getting a little bit of love here on the broadcast. Pun absolutely intended. We should be coming back for a restart here real shortly. Have about 15 minutes left in the broadcast window, but we're down to just a couple of laps to go here, so we should be able to get some victory lane interviews here as well. At least if the drivers jump in the Discord pretty quickly. Lights are out on the iRacing safety car. Jeffrey Stanton riding that outside safer barrier. Derek Love sort of blocking the line off here. Just enough. That fight's going to be spectacular to watch off the corner. Does Steven Mastro have anything for Ryan Sellers? Green flag goes back in the air. Love got a great... Oh, contact! Jeffrey Stanton going to bounce it off the outside wall. Flips to the inside. Caution flag will fly. Trouble for Jeffrey Stanton. Get you the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Little bit of a twitch out of Derek Love. And Stanton gets punted. Goes for a pretty big hit. Unfortunately, that's going to put him back to about the 12th position. We'll see where everything shakes out here. But it looks like Jeffrey Stanton is... We'll see if he's going to hit pit road here. He does not. Stays out on the racetrack. But Ryan Sellers just getting caught up to the pace car here. A little bit of yellow fever at the end of this race. There's Derek Love, the other car that was involved in the incident. We'll take a look here, see if we can get you a little bit tighter look here at the number 4 machine. Everything looks okay. Don't see anything too bent up and out of place. guess that's one way to keep Jeffrey Stanton behind you, is to have his race kind of go up in smoke here a little bit. So let's run you back through your top 5 here now as we get ready to come back for a restart. Ryan Sellers will be the race leader. He's led every lap since the drop of the green flag tonight. Steven Mastro running in the second position. A fantastic run. The number 3 machine, able to fend off Jeffrey Stanton early on. Here's your tire on the side of that number 3 machine. Running in the third position is Derek Love. Had a pretty solid race here so far. Not anything spectacular out of Derek, but sometimes that's what you need at the bigger tracks here, like the Milwaukee Mile. Dan Smith, biggest beneficiary of that incident. He's the one who basically punted Jeffrey Stanton way up into the air under that last caution flag. We'll see if there's going to be any damage to that car. Josh Batista running in the 5th position. Now the highest running of the cars that came down pit lane at lap number 18. Just behind them is Brian Payne. Payne, Jim Vig, Mike Barry, Steven Spears have been putting on a very spirited battle throughout the back half of the top 10. Jeffrey Stanton going to be coming down pit road this time. You wonder if there's not a meatball flag that Stanton is going to have to clear here after that last incident. The meatball flag is a black flag with the orange circle in the middle. It means your car has too much damage and will require repair. Looks like that may be the end of the race for Jeffrey Stanton. Looks like the lights are out on the iRacing safety car. We're going to do this restart game one more time, because this should be the white flag lap here. Race leaders will come across the line. Green, white, checkered finish on tap here as Sellers grabs the early advantage. He's going to start to check out from Steven Mastro. They'll see the white this next time by. White flag is in the air. Next flag will end it, and it has been a dominant performance tonight from Ryan Sellers. Off of turn 2 for the final time. One more set of corners to go. Off of turn number 4, the race win and the season championship go to Ryan Sellers. Steven Mastro comes home second. Derek Love in the third and final podium position. 4th place belongs to Josh Batista. 5th to Dan Smith in a fantastic race here at the Milwaukee Mile. See if Sellers is going to light them up here. I'll bet you we see it. Fire it up and burn them down on the front straightaway. Here are your race results. Ryan Sellers getting the win over Steven Mastro and Derek Love. Josh Batista, Dan Smith, your top 5. Brian Payne, Mike Barry, Jim Vig, Steven Spears, and Ron Quinsel, the top 10. 11th place tonight goes to Wally Reardon. 12th belongs to Jason Steinhurst. 13th, Jeffrey Stanton. 14th, Julian Valdez, Matt Babel, the top 15 competitors this evening. Joe Adams, Connor Babel, Brady Martz, Rich Foreman, and Mark Hefner back through through the 20th position. And Steven Dion was a did not start this evening. Looks like we have our top 3 finishers heading in here. Let's first pick up. Get the right cameras lined up for you here, everybody. Let's pick up Derek Love. Derek, a fantastic run tonight, and not a bad way to close out a championship run.
Thank you much. I really enjoyed the whole season. Got to thank the Street Side Classics Sprint car, and look forward to next season.
I was going to say, we're going to take a week off here, and everybody's going to recoup, but looking forward to seeing you back here for 2021 Season 3. Congratulations on the podium finish tonight, and a heck of a good run of the championship as well. Who would you like to thank?
Just everyone that comes out, everyone that puts this on, yourself included, all the fans and Street Side Classics Sprint car. Thank you much.
There you go. There's Derek Love, your runner-up finisher this evening. Third place finisher. We're going to talk to your runner-up finisher right now, Mr. Steven Mastro. Steven, heck of a run there to a second place finish. Ultimately, I don't know that anybody had something for Ryan, but it almost feels like we got cheated a little bit out of a great battle late between you and Jeffrey Stanton. You three were really the class of the field tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. It was a good race. We went pretty hard early on in the beginning of the race. I saw Jeffrey pit. I was a little confused with what he was doing, but then I saw him back on us late in the race, and I was thinking maybe he had the right strategy there. Yeah, as far as Ryan, I don't know if I had anything for him. He's been the class of the field pretty much all season. He's a really tough competitor, one of the best in the sprint cars, and it's nice to get a good finish here after a few rough weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say, and Milwaukee is not the easiest place to do it, where you're kind of fighting the just general twitchiness of the sprint car down the straightaways, and not a lot of banking to help you through the corners either.
Oh yeah, it was tough, especially late in the run there when the fuel was burnt off. It was really hard to put the power down coming out of the turns. You just really had to be super careful with it.
There you go, Steven. Congratulations on the runner-up finish tonight and what looks to be a fourth place finish in the point standings. So congratulations on that one as well. Who would you like to thank?
Well, first off, I want to thank you guys and NRN for broadcasting these races. Want to thank Hoosier Tire East, Dave Kunzler Tire, and yeah, I think that's it.
All right, Bob. Well, good luck to you. We will enjoy the week 13 off, that's for sure, but look forward to seeing you back here in a couple of weeks.
All right, thank you, Chris, and congrats to Ryan on the championship there.
Yeah, there you go. Let's talk to him, the man of the hour, your race winner and 2021 Season 2 champion, Ryan Sellers. Man, that number 1 machine was absolutely hooked up tonight.
Yeah, I really like the hot slick track, so it's the bigger tracks really playing to my favor too. So it was definitely on rails tonight. Made a bunch of setup changes before the race, so I was kind of skeptical and glad they worked out.
It's kind of interesting to hear you say that, because it seems like anytime we hear about some big swings being taken at the car, it's sometimes doesn't work out for the better. Not looking for the state secrets here, but how big of a swing do you need to make for a hot, slick racetrack versus something where the temperatures might be a little bit cooler, running at night, those kinds of things?
Well, so the 2 practice sessions I was in before the actual race, they were 60-degree track temperature, 80, and I mean, to go from an 80-degree track temperature to a 100-degree track temperature, I mean, I changed all 4 corners on the shocks and just messing with some other little things to try to dial it in and keep it planted in the track, because that's the biggest thing you're going to fight on a slick track.
Yeah, it was a spectacular show you put on here tonight, and you pick up the championship, which has got to be pretty cool too here, because the iRacing Sprint Car Cup is not one of the easier championships to win, that's for sure.
No, it's my second championship, and it feels just like the first one. It's super excited to win it, and like you said, it's the competition in the sprint car series is, we're all dedicated. We're here Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday every night racing. So it's been fun, and it's been a heck of a battle between me and Jeff, and then even Mastro and all the guys in the beginning of the series. It was a hard fought battle the whole season.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the win of the championship tonight. Who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank DRR Speedworks, which is Dan Smith and Rich Foreman. They've helped me ton this season. Crew chief and getting this thing dialed in for me to be able to come out and pick up a lot of wins this season. And then Leary Construction, Leary Shock Technology, and Rich Foreman Photography. And you guys for broadcasting the whole season. Hopefully we can see you next season.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We will enjoy the week 13 off, that's for sure, but looking forward to being back here in a couple of weeks. So congratulations. We look forward to seeing you defend your title.
Thanks, Chris.
There you go. There's Ryan Sellers, your winner at the Milwaukee Mile and your season champion for the iRacing Sprint Car Cup. And with that, it's time for us to get on out of here and head on over to Lucas Oil Raceway Park. A doubleheader coming up tonight for the TNT PM18 All Oval Series presented by Carolina Simworks. You do not want to miss that one coming up here in just a few minutes. But until then, for everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. We'll talk to you in just about 2 minutes over from Lucas Oil Raceway Park.